All right, I guess that's it. We're here. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, quite good, thank you.
It's going good.
Alrighty. Yeah, let's get into it. So we're here. Hello, everyone. There's three of us on the stage. We have a screen share, which you guys should all see. We're here to talk about VR Meet, this event that we're putting off. This is Omnium combined with what was Duckman, but now called VR LAN, combined Friday and Saturday, 1st and 2nd of November 2024. We've announced it, and here we are on the 6th of April. We're going to go over a Q&A, questions that we've already got, as well as announcing some important information and details about the event that we're going into. So my name is Mitch. I'm on stage here with Tinnunculus and Gobshite, the main people that are making this event happen. Let's start with you, Tin. How are you?
Yeah, quite good, thank you, my mate. What about you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. I'm excited for this, and I'm excited to see what people think about the direction we're taking this. Gobshite, how are you?
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm looking forward to this. We're finally actually going to be able to talk about some of the stuff that I've been wanting to talk about with people for ages, and everyone keeps saying, "Shut up, Gob. Stop talking about stuff." So yeah, I'm excited to actually get to share some stuff.
Yeah, I can second that 100%. There's so much stuff that we're like, oh, like when do we announce this? And Gob just wants to say it all. He literally just wants to reveal everything we're doing, all of the games, everything about the venue, and we're like, no,
Yeah,
tease.
it was struggling so
Like,
hard.
slowly. All right. I reckon we just get straight into the questions then. Should we keep this pretty casual? We'll just go through the questions that we had submitted, and then as they go on certain subjects, we can open it up and go into a bit more detail. Because I know with the games, we want to go into a bit of detail about what games we're supporting, how we're going to think about the format for that, as well as details on the venue. So if that's all right with you guys, we'll start
Sounds
from the
good to
top.
me.
Sure.
Yeah, I've
So,
got chat open as well, so I'll keep an eye
yeah,
over there.
sweet. I'm going to start from the top of that chat, the AMA questions. And yeah, okay, we'll just do this. So the top one from Ducklighter. What games are being planned to be played at this event? And I think Gobshite might be best to answer that.
See, I thought we were doing this in a different order,
Oh,
but but that's fine.
sorry.
We could also
Just
let
looking
people
at how
try
this.
to
I
bet
thought we were
which
doing
games are going to be
location
played.
first, but
Sorry, how do you want to do this then? Was there a
It was going away.
he's gone. All right, it's just me and you.
No, it's coming back.
All right,
Welcome back
we'll
up.
give it a minute. Try to
what
jump
happened
straight
there?
in.
What happened there?
Someone kicked you.
That was crazy.
Yeah, Max. The
Like,
needed to let Gobshite talk for now.
is this all working
Uh,
now? Can you hear me okay?
yeah, we hear you
We
now.
can hear you.
Some quite some lag. Maybe get Tin, you can take the. Do you want to start on like? Should we start? Let Tin talk, and I'll just get my
Okay.
tech up to
Yeah,
date.
no worries. So if it's all right, should we talk about these games then? Tin, do you want to speak about one of the games that we're supporting?
Yeah, of course. I'm really interested before going deeper into the games we are featuring in this LAN event and what people
Yeah.
are thinking about on which games are being featured and how many of them. Because we've never asked that, and I don't know if from the audience there are some pronostic hypotheses on which games are going to be featured. There are some insult on some games there. Okay, now Real VR Fishing is not one of them, but one of them, yes, will be Breachers, and the people know that beforehand.
Yeah, breach.
Yeah, it will be one of
Okay.
Yeah,
the.
breaches would be good.
Official then. So the first one we're announcing. Is that true, Tim?
Yes, it's true. The first game we're going to announce will be Breachers. So this is the first time that in a LAN event there would be an FPS games, isn't it?
It'll be the first time that we've gone into the FPS world for sure. But Breaches is a great title. It's really picked up the slack in, the number of. It's certainly we built obviously around the Echo community. A whole bunch of Echo players went over and started waxing lyrical about Breaches. We've had loads of people coming to the server asking us, to host a Breaches event. we've had a chat with the dev team there. They're really supportive of this and going to be helping us out. So yeah, I think Breach is going to be great.
Yes, of course, and also as you were saying, the Triangle Factory devs teams, they are a bunch of very nice guys, and they are very keen in following the feedbacks of the community, and that's something that for sure we love.
Yeah, 100%. I'm really happy with this one being included as well. I think it's just the go-to. It's the one of the biggest VR FPSs at the moment. It's got a dev team that are very supportive of this kind of thing. They've given us a spectator client. They're really keen to support us technically in putting this off. It is the first time both Omnium and Duckman are doing an FPS, so there's a lot of technical things that we have to start thinking about. Thinking about like noise cancelling headphones, how we want to approach, like how we're going to position the teams and things like that. I understand a lot of that is still TBC. Thinking about the format of how we're going to run this.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to location in a bit and reveal a bit more about the venue. But I can say, like, one of the things looking for a venue this year was trying to find somewhere that would be a bit more suitable to maybe host some kind of FPS thing, have enough space. And I think we've done that. So
Yes,
Yeah.
also because we are talking about a game that has a 5 members team, so we're talking about 10 people playing together in the same space. So we will require some huge space for do that.
Awesome, cool. All right, should we move on? Should we think about the next game here?
No, going for the next one. I saw that.
Yeah, should we try and get some more guesses in the chat just before we do fully reveal it?
I did
Let's
see
what other
someone who had
people say.
done a good guess a minute ago.
A Rec Room Paintball.
Imagine. I'm pretty sure that's still ongoing though. There are leagues of that, but perhaps not as big as Preachers
Yes,
at the moment.
Rec Room.
I saw one correct games there. There are a bunch of games that are interesting, like Walkabout Mini Golf, but no, this won't be the case for Walkabout Mini Golf. But the second games, yes, we'll add it will be Blaston. So
There
we're
we go.
going to, for the next event featuring Blaston on site, and it was very entertainment. Last time in Rome, seeing these pro players jumping from one side to the other, dodging all the bullets and sweating all around. It was very cool. Yes, Blaston will be featured in this event.
Yeah, I think it's the first time I've been able to really dive into Blast, and it's something that we haven't done. Obviously, we just did Echo over here, but watching some of the videos that came back from Rome, yeah, I can see it working really well, like in an in-person situation.
Yeah, I think Blaston looks really good on stage as well. Seeing where people line up 1-to-1. So in Rome, we had that whole second room dedicated to Blaston. We had 2 players opposite each other, and they're set up in game and real life 1-to-1, so they can at the beginning of every match go up and fist bump just before the game. I thought that was a great like matchup, a great like thing to have to watch as well, with the large screen behind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so true.
And with some of these like 1v1 games, like because it's you can get through things quite neatly, like production wise, and I think it's going to be good to be able to include multiple games, and I think it's something that is quite overlooked. The kind of being able to bring so many games, like we're revealing 2 at the minute, we've still got more to talk about, all under one roof. I think it's going to allow space for all these 1v1 and team games combined.
Yeah, true.
All right. Should we move on to the next title? Speaking about 1v1s and perhaps 2v2s. Is there another game, Tin, you'd like to
Two games. Yes, it is. There are at least one of the games. I don't know if there are any guesses there.
Yes.
Is Veil. You know what? I've never played Veil yet.
No, I did put out an interest form for Vale. That could be a good future one, though. We didn't get much response back, but could have been good.
Yeah, will be. At least someone says that Vale is actually dead, but probably the audience can give us some more details about that.
I'm loving all these.
But God, just more 30 seconds to unveil the third game. Yeah, there are some nice guesses there.
Some of the guesses are actually great.
Yeah.
I'm
Some are
Job simulator.
nice ideas for the 2025 projects.
some of we're just
Okay, who's going to
No.
announce the third game? Because we will not decide the order.
You're on a roll, Tim. Go on.
Okay,
You go for it.
I'm going to follow the wave. And the third one will be 2 versus 2 games. So we are getting back to teams, couples here, and we're talking about Rocket Club, the last pair from Resolution Games. And yes, I can see some yes with a lot of exclamation points in the audience. Happy about that.
VR tennis. Yes, VR tennis.
Yes. Resolution Games is really happy about our projects, and they are very keen to find way to support us, and we're very happy about that. As they did last year in Rome for Blaston, of course they are going to keep supporting us. That's great.
I think this kind of goes back to what I was saying about having it lined up in person. What we've been really thinking about with some of these games is how it's going to be, as a spectator, being able to watch these. And actually, if we can get them up on stage, set up exactly one to one in game,
Talking about
and pass through as well, like the players will be able to see the audience in the pass through of the cameras while
yes,
they're playing
definitely.
it.
Talking about support from Resolution Games, there is no official spectator yet for Racket Club, but they offer us a version that we can use, and we are going to definitely put something like we did for Blaston in Rome. So trying to line up the players and the screen to make them matches, and so the people can watch the movement in game and outside the game, and it will be very cool. Definitely, it will be awesome.
Yeah, cool. Because so Made by Resolution Games, we also did Blast on. They're another game studio that's been really supportive of these live events. So it's one that technically should go quite smoothly in terms of getting that spectator client eventually, and helping us run a good LAN. So
Yeah.
we've announced Breaches, Blast on, Racket Club. Are there a couple more? Any others?
There's one more that we can talk about.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple we can't talk about just yet. So going back to like FPS games, we have told this before and had people kind of come forward and ask us to do one. I mean, Onward is the longest running like VR FPS game. Their spectator clients up to scratch. We know that it'll work well in this kind of environment. I remember going and watching some Onward games at like the old ESL ones. So yeah, Onward I think is one that we're going to try and get that community together and get them all to meet each other, because there hasn't really been an Onward LAN like this, and I think it's a really good opportunity for some of those people to meet in person, which fundamentally is what these events are about, is having these games but building these communities and trying to bring those people together in a physical space. And yeah, I think Onward will be pretty good for that.
Yeah, 100%.
And they, at least in Europe, they have never had the chance to meet each other in an event like this. So we think it's really important for them to have such a possibility.
All right, there we are.
So yeah, that's 4 titles: Breaches, Onward, Blast On, and Racket Club. We're gonna try and cram as many many games into this as we can. We've got the space over a couple of rooms to do something quite special. Um, so yeah, we've got 4 that we've announced, and I reckon we might be able to fit in another 2 games. Looking at the schedule, but we're gonna have to wait and see. I'm loving reading the chat. I'm loving reading the chat, but my lips are sealed.
All right. Speaking of 2 rooms at the event, should we segue into the venue, Gobshite? Is there anything you want to, some details you want to give away there?
I would love to. I've been wanting to talk to people about the venue for freaking ages. Um, Everyone knows that it's in Exeter, right? Which is, down in the southwest, just down from Bristol. International people can probably get into Bristol Airport, although Exeter does have an airport itself. It's a really beautiful old English city. There's loads of like cool things to look at there. But the coolest thing I found when going through all these venues was this place, the Lemon Grove in Exeter. Gobshite, you're died. Don't know what that means.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
my
are kind
cam's
of.
Just your video, guys, yeah. We can still hear you fine. Oh, maybe not. Oh, whoops. Let's wait for him to come back because he is the best person. Yeah, he's the best person to speak about venue.
Yeah,
Swift, if you're in the audience, feel free to jump up if you did want to. We'll get you on.
any interesting infos about the Exeter city. I didn't study the story behind the city, but I can assure you guys that the location is very cool, and Gobshite is already back on his feet and will tell you some more details. But it's something that was calling us. The location itself was calling us, saying, "Choose me." That's what happened. Go on, Gob.
All right, all right, all right. Am I back?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we
God,
see and hear you.
honestly, this like Discord just keeps crashing. Not much I can do. Um, okay, cool. I'm just sharing this up again. So this space is like what you're seeing on the only bit I've got on this screen share is just a picture of the bar. But if you imagine on the left of there is like a whole area with where we are going to be able to have little booths with hopefully some people showing off their games that they're developing or different products and VR related stuff. So, yeah, if anyone's like building something cool and they want a space where they can show that off to people, let us know. We're going to try and accommodate that kind of thing in here as well. On the right, we've got what we're calling the club room, which is generally used like to hold large club night events. And then off the back is the stage room, which holds normally like full live concerts. And this is actually held on the Exeter University campus. So this is actually their main venue for Exeter University, which means that not only have we got like a huge amount of space there, it's also going to benefit from having all the university infrastructure. Which is obviously a key thing we're looking for is space and infrastructure.
And speaking of the space, how would you compare it to what we had in Southampton?
Oh, it's like 4, 5, 6 times the size.
6 times the size.
All in all, I think. If you think of actually the floor space, yeah, I mean it's huge. Someone's found a picture of it there. That's just what they've shown there. That is just part of one room. We've got 3 rooms in this space. So yeah, plenty of space to do lots of cool things. As I say, with the university infrastructure as well, right? Like, we were looking for somewhere that we could minimize any kind of like network issues, and it's really kind of key to do that. And it's very tricky to find large spaces with good internet that are willing to hire out. Whereas universities have to have tons of devices connected all the time doing stuff. They've got a whole, the university infrastructure is pretty large and solid, and they've got a member of their tech team that's going to come down and help us and be there when we set up on the Thursday as well. So yeah, I think we found a bit of a golden venue here to do something really special.
Yeah, I agree. It'd be great to. I'm looking forward to seeing the venue. The size of it, as you say, 6 times the size as what we had in Southampton. And then with everything that you're saying about the infrastructure and the networking we have there, like the quality of an event we can pull off across 2 rooms as well. We can have concurrent events running at the same time. Sounds incredible.
Yeah. And that's something that was really important, to try and break out of the echo. When we just had echo, and echo was the only thing that was happening, that's one thing. But with the demise of echo and knowing that we had to branch out and do something different, you want to try and still provide that community feel for everyone to kind of get together, meet each other, and experience some cool VR moments. But no offense to Breachers, but I know there's going to be a bunch of like tennis players that don't necessarily want to watch Breachers all day. They might want to hop in and out. You might find that there's someone who really doesn't care for Blast On, but might be able to go and watch a bit of this and a bit of that. You can basically, having multiple things happening in multiple places means it's going to feel a little bit more like a festival, like a games festival, with different things that you can kind of get involved with, rather than just being stuck in one space watching one thing the whole time.
That's definitely how it sounds. As you've been describing the vision of where you want to take these events, where before it was like it was an Echo event, everyone came for Echo. Whilst this, as you said, the word festival, this feels way more of a games festival. Talking about the other, I know we can't get into too much details, but the other kind of things that we want to bring to the event as well, alongside the games, treating the games as if they're like music acts on stage, and then there's other things as well in the environment.
Yeah. It's going to be good. I think we've got the right space for it. We've got a great lineup of games for it. I saw someone post in the chat about when the next batch of tickets go on sale, and that will be shortly after this AMA. The next tier will go on sale. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of everything we've got to say on terms of like what games we've got and the location. But have you got any other kind of like things that people have popped in the chat, or anything else you want to ask us, Mitch?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of questions I can start moving with. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know it's quite TBD, we're still figuring it out, but do we want to say, perhaps, Tin, something about the qualifiers and how we want
For sure.
to organize the tournament?
So, as we are organizing several games at once, the organization, of course, require more effort and more understanding of the structure. So, we can say that definitely we are going to do some qualifiers, but we cannot share everything about these qualifiers at the moment. We are still working on that, and we want to be completely honest with all of you guys, and we are trying to make the best of it. So as soon as we have a more clear and complete view on what's happening for the qualifiers, we're going to share every bit of them. But for sure, there will be qualifiers.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think I'm going to leave the camera off, because I think that's just screwing things up. Because people keep saying my camera's dying, and then I vanish and everything crashes. So
Yeah, that's fine. We can hear you fine now.
cool.
You're good. So just speaking about qualifiers, tournaments, Gob, do you want to say anything about a different way of participating in the games?
Yeah, so going to do kind of what we have done in the past, in terms of having some participant tickets where people can just kind of buy a ticket, jump in. They will be like limited, obviously, because we've only got so much time in the day. And actually, one of the biggest things we're doing at the minute is sitting down with a calendar, trying to etch out how long a game takes, how many games you can fit in, how many players. We want to maximize the opportunities for people to take part and get involved, and there will be participant tickets for people to do that. But yeah, trying to work out exactly how many we can give away is the reason they're not on sale yet, because we don't want to oversubscribe things. That would make it tricky. We want to like make sure everyone is able to have a good amount of play time. Not to you play one game and if you lose, you're out. We don't really want that to be the scenario. So, yeah, there will be participant tickets for all the titles we speak about. In terms of tournaments, that's something that will be Omnium are going to lead on, pulling those together. We're not associated with like VRML or anything like that. I know we've had some people say, "Oh, can the top VRML teams, come along and whatnot?" I mean, they're welcome to apply for the tournaments that do go out,
Sure.
but we're not really taking, say, the top VRML teams. Any teams that do go through one of the tournaments for the titles that we do, do tournaments for. If they make it to the end, then they'll be able to get, say, free tickets into the event, but they would be obviously expected to provide their own like accommodation and travel, because fundamentally this is still a community event. We haven't got any big sponsors or backers. We're very much just doing this on a wing and a prayer and hoping that people want to come in and experience the event and are going to come along. So yeah, it's going to be good. We'll try and get as many people involved and participating as possible. But yeah, just hang fire with us while we work out exactly how many of those we can sell for each title.
And on the same subject of the tickets, in the form to buy the tickets, there's ticket tiers with increasing prices. Do you want to just clarify that, Gob, on why that's been split out?
Yeah, I mean, the prices go up the longer you wait. Simple. The earlier you get involved, like the people who brought the first batch of tickets, they got them the cheapest price because they were up for getting involved even before any of the titles were announced. Good on them. We think that's great. We want to support that. They can get the cheaper tickets. The longer they wait, the closer to the event, the more the price goes up. Each tier has a certain number of tickets on it. And the number of tickets on each tier is entirely based around what we think we're going to sell overall and how that breaks down into how basically we're giving away as many on the cheaper tiers as we can afford to for each one. So yeah, when they do run out, they'll just jump up to the next one.
Awesome. I've also got a logistical question here about accommodation around the event. I know there's some people that are already jumped the gun and they've got Airbnbs already lined up. But is there anything that you want to say about that, like for people that are thinking about hotel options and accommodation?
Yeah, I mean, I have got an email yesterday from the people who run, because obviously it's university, right? So they're quite well connected in their town, do these kind of things and conferences all the time. So I spoke to them, and I've got link ups with all the local hotels. So I've got an email that I got yesterday. I'm going to email them and see if we can get some kind of deal on hotel rooms. So sure, I mean, obviously loads of people are going to book up Airbnbs and stuff straight away, but I'm hoping provide some kind of like discounted deal on hotel rooms, some kind of group buy option or something like that. So I'm just going to have a chat with them. When I know, you guys will know. I will put it out there.
Awesome. Guys watching, feel free to just keep dropping questions. I think I'm just going to just rattle through these now and we'll just quick fire questions if that's all right. We'll keep it that format. It seems to be working well. The next question I had was, are finals going to be played at separate times or all at the same time? So kind of a scheduling question.
I think that we are going to put all the efforts in trying to make them separated to allow all the people to spectate each finals, and we are kind of optimistic about that. So we are going into that direction, and I think that's all. We'll do our best to allow everyone to watch every single final.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, it's obviously going to be a scheduling thing. It's going to have to work out what we can and can't do. Really, the one thing that's worth thinking about is just how long some of these games take. So Echo, we just ran through games very, very quickly. Whereas if you look at breaches in particular, each round takes a long time, right? So exactly how we're going to schedule this stuff out is going to be tricky. But I think we're like 95% of the way there now. We've got a pretty solid idea. So as soon as we know that, we'll be able to hopefully put that out as well. But the idea is that the finals happen kind of separately, but equally, there's two rooms. So, we're able to have concurrent things going on in different places and people can go to what interests them the most.
Cool. We got a question on about bringing headsets. assuming it is bring your own headsets, could perhaps Tin, do you want to speak about what hardware we are supporting this event?
Arbo, you're not allowed to bring your entire PC here. You're going to bring your headset and alone, the standalone one. So yes, it will be as always has been. Bring your headset, and we're going to play standalone. And I think that we do not have to explain more about this, but in terms of organization and structure, of course, it's the only way to have everything at hand and clear and smooth. So yes, it will be bring your headset, the standalone one.
Cool. Okay, we had another question on tickets. I'm not sure if we actually explicitly answered this, but there's a question from Birdie. How many tickets are there for the next tier?
I mean, I can have a look actually, and I'll go put them on sale now. They are gonna be. We did 40 tickets on the first tier. I believe it's about similar for the second tier, and then nearly everything else is on the top tier apart from the really late ones. Here we go. Settings, tiers. Yeah, so they were 35. We've got tier 1, which is 45. And there's going to be 50 of those, and then pretty much everything else is on second tier. And then there's the latecomers tier, which is more based around date than it is ticket price. And I believe those tier 1 tickets are now live. They will be by the end of this call. Those tier 1 tickets are going to be live. I'm just fiddling with it now. So you can go to the next question. I'm just.
Yeah, no worries. So we're going to move on to the next questions while Gob sets up to put the tickets live. Yeah, so I just put in the chat because there's crazy quick chat moving. I can't actually scroll up and find the questions. So if you don't mind, just putting them in the AMA questions channel, and I'll see them there. I see Googlin is typing. I got pinged like 4 times there as well. Hyper wanted my number. I'll DM you. Petal question: will I have to bring my own headphones, or would it be provided? Tin, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, that's a very good questions, and it was on the line to discuss about it. So, to being completely honest and transparent, we have not yet reached that point in which we had take a decision about that. So you just have to be a little more patient, and we can go through that too.
Okay, because I feel that it's a leading question, right? Asking about bringing your own headphones because of noise cancelling. If you remember, it was the same in Rome as well. When you've got a loud room of people watching, especially when it's a final or a semi-final and everyone's getting a bit excited, it's definitely needed, right?
There is a lot of hype and enthusiasm, and that's of course the beautiful part of it. And we just have to work to make that experience the best we can. So, assuming that there are a lot of interest in that, I think that we're going to put that on the top of the list of the things that we are going to discuss in the next few days.
Okay. I've also got a question about play space. It'd be good to ask both of you, to be honest, having pulled off these events before.
I keep seeing people throw this up, saying, "Oh, can I play space abuse?" Well, obviously not. I think it's. I mean, everyone who was at Southampton Duckman would have seen people play space abusing at LAN and seen how blatantly obvious it is when they're kind of walking onto someone else's mat. Yeah, I think it's. I mean, it's quite an easy answer, isn't it? If you're wandering around the room, we're going to be able to see you and say, "Oi, don't do it."
Yeah.
Have we got any? Sorry, go on, Tim.
Yeah,
Sorry.
thank you, Mitch. Because there are some doubts about breachers and some certain rules about pixel walking and stuff like that. We can assure you that we are going to study all of these mechanics. We have trusted people that are advising us on that, and of course, as Gobshite were saying, there won't be it won't be allowed to abuse the play space, of course, but for sure, considering that the leaning is a core mechanic of breachers, you will be allowed to lean.
You will be allowed to lean. So is there, like, for example, you can't step out of the mat if we're using the same circular mats? No.
People nowadays are using the play space to gain an advantage in speed, in the movement speed in breachers, and that won't be allowed uh, because safety first.
Yeah. Before we move on, was there anything else on that subject you wanted to say, Gob? About play space,
No.
restrictions, rules?
Just that it's given me flashbacks to like was it Jackknife and Savage, wasn't it? Just
Yeah.
wearing on other people's mats and stuff. Yeah. Play space abuse, not it's dangerous. It's dangerous, don't do it.
Keep bringing the questions in, guys, in the AMA channel. I'm watching that there. The next one is a very good question from Ducklighter. Will there be applications for joining Stream Team at any point?
Yes.
Yeah, Gob, if you want to take that one.
Just yes. We've got a good team of people. You've seen them all before. But we are going to need more people, especially people who are familiar with the communities and stuff. So yeah, we're going to put out a form coming days. We were going to do it before, look for extra casters and whatever. But obviously, I can't put a form out saying, "Hey, do you want to do breaches casting?" when we hadn't yet announced breaches. So it'll come in the next couple of days now that the games are announced.
And that's so casters, as you say. Is this other roles as well?
I mean, yeah, casters and just generally like we will need some volunteers, and to help us out just generally around the event. So if there are people who, maybe can't afford the ticket but want to come along or live locally, I don't know, whatever. If you just want to get involved in the production side of things and see how that goes, maybe feel free to fill in the volunteer form. We'll know more about exactly what we need from people and how many people we need down the line. But yeah.
Yeah, also
Yeah.
like keeping track of the competition, organization, and scheduling on site. So there would be space for volunteers that will help for sure.
Cool. We've got a fair question here from Joshi. If you aren't attending since you're away at that time or something, is there any way you can still play?
No.
No.
Really, fundamentally. Like we've had this before. We will say like if you're going to partake in the tournaments, then really, anyone who partakes, we would like them to be able to attend the LAN event in the instance that they win, or they qualify through to, be shown at LAN. What we don't want is a situation where, I don't know, say a breaches team, and then they submit a team, and by the time of the event they replace 3 players, and then it's not the same team that qualified and stuff like that. It just doesn't quite work out well to do that. So yeah, if you partake, then you got to be able to attend.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair rule. Okay, so I'll wait for a couple more questions to come in. Tin, is there anything else that you wanted to say at this point?
Mm, I will think about it. So let's go with the next questions.
Yeah, no worries. Good question from Kitsuneko. Tell me if I butchered your name, sorry. Will there be food and drinks on site, or do we have to arrange like takeaway? Probably a question for
Well,
Gob.
yeah. There's the university bar and restaurant attached pretty much to the venue. It's just next door. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be really easy just to pop out and grab, a whole really nice meal from like they've got like a whole pub food meal kind of thing. So yeah, it's a good student bar right next to the student venue that we're going to be using. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of okay. They said with people, ordering in deliveries if they want to. Um, but I mean, I had a burger and chips there. It was great, and cheap. So I imagine everyone's going to probably end up doing that.
Gobshite approved. Good burger and chips. Next door to the venue.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It's basically part of the venue. It's all owned by the student union. So
a question going back to the tickets. I think this is a good question in that. So the question is, buying a ticket still necessary if you're only going to be at LAN for about 5 hours or so? Do you want to just clarify what the ticket gets you, right? Because you buy one ticket, but it's a 2-day event.
correct. Yeah. So it's you can buy. It's just a general entry ticket. And that it will give you access to the event for the 2 days. We're not doing day tickets as such, not at this point. If we do day tickets, it will probably be just for the second day. Because it's a lot easier to manage then. You can just do tickets for the second day and people can come in for the day. But it's a lot harder to do day tickets on the Friday and then kick everyone else out on the Saturday when they, turn back up and say, "Oh, I was here yesterday." So yeah, it's pretty much like if you want to be there for the 2 days, you can do that. If you only want the single day, we might do day tickets, but it will only be for the Saturday.
Yeah, understood. So one ticket, full access to everything, both days.
Correct.
Still on the
And
subject
obviously
of the venue.
participant tickets will be separate, So if there will be a
Yeah.
separate set of tickets for participating in the games. These are like general entry tickets. And I've just put that the next tier are now on sale, by the way. So
Oh, there we go. Tickets are on sale. So if you didn't
Mm.
happen to be one of the 40 that got the early access, you can get tickets now in this next wave, which is limited to 40 again.
50 tickets on this
50
tier,
tickets.
and then everything else is pretty much on the second tier, apart from the last ones, which will be for latecomers.
Yeah. And you alluded to participant tickets there towards the end. There's a question from Fraser. For Echo, there was a sort of mixed category. Would it be anything similar for breaches?
Yes, there will be. Kind of goes all the way back to scheduling and stuff. There will be mixed tickets for all the games, really. Like, we're a community land, not a competitive land. This is going to be about getting
Yeah.
people in and getting them involved and getting people to partake as much as humanly possible. So there will be like participant tickets for all of these. It might be that some of them, work better only doing participant tickets. I don't know. That's discussions all to be had, but yeah, we want to get people involved as much as possible, but there's obviously limitations in how many tickets you can do for each game. So they will be limited in number. And when they all go on sale, we'll let everyone know, and they can. But you'll have to have a normal ticket, so as to say, to purchase a participant ticket.
Awesome. So for everyone that's still on this call that isn't buying tickets or they already had their ticket, we'll move on to a couple more. I'll quick fire the next ones. So from Wee Laddie, asking about LAN builds, I believe. I don't know whether it's been covered, but will the LAN have the same separate game build like we had for Echo?
Sorry,
Is
can you
that
repeat?
something we can answer? It's asking about, I guess.
What builds we'll be using for the
Yeah,
games? Um, I don't know exactly what we can say to that. Some
yeah,
games may support actual LAN, like LAN, as having a server on site. I guess like running your own Echo server is these days. Um, that kind of thing might be possible for some games, but not all of them. So some of them will do, like we did Echo last year, people just playing online as such, but everyone will have the same ping on the same network. And I'm pretty sure everyone who's played one of these events before is aware that is already a better experience having everyone on the same level than having someone who's spiking around on 200 ping playing on their 4G connection. So I think yeah, that answer it.
Wee Laddie shout if that does answer it, because I feel like we're TBD on some details with the titles that we're supporting.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, it's just like we will do. Like the primary objective would be to have every one of these things on a proper land build, but it's just not going to be supported by every game. If it's supportable, we'll do it.
Awesome. Another one, different subject, about going back to the venue again. Parking spaces. Is that something that we have an easy answer for?
There is parking on and around the campus. It's in the center of town. There's a lot of street parking. Yeah, there's two car parks on campus as well, so it shouldn't be a difficult thing for parking.
Awesome. Bear with me.
Although I imagine people probably be parking at their hotels.
Yeah, probably.
Right, I'm actually running out of questions here. Oh, from Petal. For latecomer tickets, will there still be a limited amount, or will they be unlimited? Another question about late.
I mean, that depends how close we reach the venue capacity, right? If we've almost reached the venue capacity, then they'll be limited. If we have still got loads of space to sell, then they'll be unlimited practically. We're limited to like a venue cap, which is like quite a bit larger than we've had before. But a lot of that's going to be taken up by play space, and we've got a lot more games involved this time. So, you know, there's every chance that we do hit the cap. But as I always say to people, buy your tickets early. Don't wait around and find out.
And do we have a venue capacity? The top capacity?
Ow, something just fell on my head. We do have a venue capacity, but it's going to be not. I mean, the official venue capacity is in the thousands because it's a huge space. But obviously, once we start taking that up with players flinging their arms around and trying to not punch each other, then that significantly reduces down. So, you know, I think we're probably going to be looking somewhere in the region of 400 to 500 cap total.
Yeah. Cool. I've got a question that might be better answered by Tin, because Omnium have been running your league, right? You've been running these games online, these tournaments. With the VR FPSs that you've worked with, do you have any rules about gun stocks or other VR accessories?
That's a good question, and thanks for that one. But yes, virtual stock should be allowed, as they you can use them online and during official competitions. So I think that there's no problem in allowing them into the on-site event. Also because if you ever experience playing VR FPS, using just the controllers make the experience less immersive and therefore less I don't know the English word, but satisfying. Satisfying, yes. So as we aim to give all the players and the spectators the best experience we can deliver, yes, virtual stock will be allowed.
Cool. There was a question, I assume, from an Onward player, 24 Grey, was asking about the format for Onward. And I know that when we joined the call just before, you were discussing the formats. I don't know. I can't remember who was speaking. It might have been God.
We can say
You had
that
some idea.
in general is yet to be declared, but we are working on that, and also it could be nice to talk with some experienced player about that. Being close to the community will help us in delivering the best events possible. So we are very keen to and open to have a chit chat.
Yeah, I'll definitely second that. If there is anyone involved with these games that we're supporting for the first time, and you have input and you have ideas, definitely share them. Help us make this, as God was saying, it's a community event. We're not trying to be too serious in any way. It's about people turning up and having a great time. God has said it; He will be saying it again, and that's the ethos that we want for this kind of event.
It's important to because sometimes people do these LAN events and they make it super ultra competitive, and it's all like that's never really been our vibe. It's about bringing people together and like having shared experiences, and I think that's what we've done really well so far in our events. And I know, all the feedback I had from your event in Rome was very similar. I know we're of the same mindset on this, so yeah, let's not take things too seriously. Let's just have fun.
Yes, competition is good and it's very fun, but I think that we share the same thoughts about the social aspect of this kind of event. That's the most beautiful things that we can achieve. So we're going to push for that one.
Question from Sonant Broom. Please, can we have heart rates on the screen, especially for Glassline? I don't know how. Oh, you mean like in game? Is that like a thing? Oh, I don't know.
What was Broom questions?
I don't know. I can't figure it out. I don't know how that would even work. You'd have to buy everyone smartwatches to measure their heart rate and put it on the screen. That feels like a lot of work for a tiny return. Guys, I'm running out of questions, so
Okay,
send some through. I know there is a timeout.
briefly on Sans Broom, is very smart about this kind of stuff, and he already did that for Blaston.
Oh,
We can have a talk about that and see if there is a very simple and smooth way to do that. And if it's quite simple, it could be a very nice add-on. But we cannot promise that for sure.
Yeah, I've just turned off AMA. Apparently, it was on slow mode, so I've turned that off.
okay. Well, let's let people. Any last questions? This is your last chance, guys. With three of us answering the question immediately. We're here. We're ready for your question. Ask it, and then we'll move on. Tickets are available now.
They haven't announced. That's correct.
Yeah, there was one guy that was asking if we can bring the sandwich man from Rome. We can ask.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh, that was so good. They had food at the Romeland. Oh, was he just a local
Yeah, it was
sandwich shop?
one of the historic locals.
Right.
Yes, but that kind of meat is called porchetta, and it's very famous among that area of Rome.
Right. Yeah, that was amazing. It's something that, if it's possible, I definitely think it'd be cool to have like local food, if that's even the thing that we could do.
I think that also that
Yeah. Local
traditional to
local Exeter cuisine. I wonder what they eat in Exeter. Um,
What
what was I
do
going to say? I seen a few people mentioning, are we adding Pavlov? I mean, we are adding another couple of games that haven't been announced, but it will not be Pavlov's not one of them. I think two FPS games is enough. I think it's good to focus on other types of games as well. I know everything's quite heavily FPS led at the minute, but yeah, we're going to try and focus on some other genres. But that's not to say we can't do future events featuring all these different games. So, you know, um, if not today, not never.
Cool. We have a few questions coming in now, so I'll just whiz through those. Are there going to be team interviews like what Retep did last time?
Most likely.
yes.
No. Is it
It's always
possible
fun.
for teams to sign up together?
Pardon?
Maybe a question for Tim. Is it possible for teams to enter as a team rather than individual for the tournaments?
Um. Uh. Well, buying a mixed tickets and joining already as a team. Is that the question?
Yeah, I think that the question is just that. It's just asking about the format of the competition. So I mean, I can answer it because we've answered it already. It's that we have two ways of participating. Sorry, we're going to have a qualifiers online before, which is you will sign up as a team, and that is the competitive side. But as we were saying about how we want to make this a community-focused event, we're also going to have mixed tournaments. I don't know if we fully confirmed it, but we were exploring ways to do that with breaches. So you would turn up as an individual, you'd sign up to play, and then we'd put you randomly into a team. So it would be mixed teams playing breaches just because it's fun to play in a room with all your friends watching.
Yep. And also a good opportunity to meet new people
Yes.
and forge new relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Thinking back to the tournaments that I've participated in as a mixed team, that is a great way to meet other like-minded people that are enjoying the same game that you enjoy and be put into a mixed team like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Would it be a prize pool? Oh, that's funny. That hasn't come up already. Prize pool. Tin, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, we can answer that at least at certain degrees. Yeah, there would be prizes for sure, and we're working on that. There will be probably the same type, of course, different from the last events. So something dedicated to the players or teams and the game they have won. So it will be something like that, and of course, high quality. If we are able,
Cool.
we're going to increase the prize pool as we can. We already are working on that, and we will keep working on that till the day of the event. So every chance we get to increase the prize pool, to get products from sponsor and cash injection from other sponsor, we're going to put that into the prize pool the best as we can.
And speaking about sponsors, there's a question from 24 Grey. Are you able to announce any sponsors that we already have on board?
No, at this point, I think it's good to. I've already been told off for telling people too much stuff like all the time. So let's stick to the plan for once. I will say, and we'll drip feed this stuff down the line.
Yeah,
But
you
we,
don't know, but we have a great feature here where there is you can say this, and you can say this, and don't remember this, and this. So we got some strict rules about this intervention.
Awesome. Yeah, no leaks. So I thought I saw a good one. I missed it. Can teams compete in multiple games?
That's a very good question.
um,
And, but let's go,
hmm.
Gobshite, go on.
I was just gonna say like. As far as like multiple games, like tournament wise, I don't see that being a problem. I guess we would still have to have a discussion down the line in terms of participant tickets before we put those on sale, because if they are quite limited in number, you kind of want as many people to partake as possible. So it might not be best to let, say, one person buy 6 mixed tickets and partake in everything, and then you take up a spot that other people could have. I think as far as mix goes, that's a discussion that we still need to have. But yeah, you can talk about the tourney side.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. I think we're going to wrap it up there. There was one other question from 24 Grey about offering to help out. I don't think we have. Do we have a sponsor form that we can send out? If not, we can get that out ASAP, right? For people that are interested in supporting.
Coming and helping, or
Yeah, 24 Grey seems to have experience with Onward, and that's exactly what
yeah,
I was
yeah.
asking for earlier.
I was speaking to him before actually when we first
cool.
looked at Onward a year ago. We were going to do Onward and it didn't quite come up, so I'm excited to do it this time. I'll give him a shout.
Swift, if you are listening, feel free to jump in. I know it sounded like you wanted to say something about the stream. I guess we haven't spoke about it because it hasn't come up in any of the questions yet. Hey, Swift.
I am allowed. I am allowed in here. I was wondering how I was joined these things, but anyway, yeah, more or less. I was just going to say about the upcoming casting form. If anyone's interested in checking out, we're thinking of most likely having 2 streams. I think we're saying so. It can't really be a one-man band anymore, and I'm going to need some helpers. So if anybody is interested in either casting one of the games, which of course yeah, just fill out the form that's coming up, and I'll hit you up. And, you can cast, or if you're more interested in just the production side of things with running the stream, or maybe just doing camera work, because obviously it's going to be a little bit more tricky. Obviously, I knew Echo very well, so it's very easy for me to cam that game. It's basically just muscle memory, but for breaches and stuff like that, I'm less familiar with. It'll be tricky to cam and do the stream at the same time. So if anybody is interested in doing camera work for the stream or casting, please fill out the form. There'll be stuff for that, whichever you want to do. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, we definitely need another Swift on the go. I think absolute legend like in Southampton. I don't know how you pulled it off. We need to clone you, my dude. We need to clone you.
We have the technology.
Yeah, Swift carried the technical side of the past 2 Duckman lands. So if anyone is, obviously we'd love for volunteer support, but also you'll be learning from a genius in this field. It's a great way if you want to learn how this kind of stuff happens. Anything from casting to cams to actually getting involved with the stream package and the more like behind the scenes technical side of that. It's a great opportunity to learn from someone that knows how to do this very well.
We keep having
I'll make you blush.
people trying to guess the other games constantly. It's quite funny.
They'll never guess the other games, right? They haven't even guessed it right.
That's not an echo leak. Stop, wee lad. It's not what that means. Maybe.
All right.
I'll shut up.
On that
ruin
note,
everything.
before anything gets revealed that maybe it shouldn't, maybe we should start to wrap up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Thank you guys. Thank you, Tin. Thank you, Gob. Thanks, Swift, jumping in at the end there.
Thank you for everything.
And thanks everyone for 100%. It's a great turnout. The amount of people that we've had watching here. I'd be interested to see how many tickets are being bought already after the early bird that we already sold ahead of time. That sold out in 2 hours? Now we've released the next batch.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I think we're good to wrap up. Sweet. Unless there's any other final words, we'll wrap it up here. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you around.
Yeah, see you soon, guys. Can't wait.
Bye-bye.
See you later, everyone.
Bye-bye.